Welcome and thank you for joining me. Let's start our yoga practice. I've put in a little bit of an influence from Tai Chi, another really relaxing, beautiful practice for the mind and for the body. So let's hop onto our mats, and you may need a cushion or a block to sit on. We're starting off in a kneeling position. So coming down to the mat, and I'm going to move straight away into child pose. And so uncurl your feet at the back, really press down the tops of your feet, your calf muscles onto the floor, and let's stretch our hands out in front of us. And before we place our forehead on the mat, really walk your fingertips out to the front of the mat, stretching through the shoulder blades. Feel that stretch through the upper back, and then gently put your forehead down onto the mat, and still with a nice big stretch, bringing the elbows down onto the mat and relax. And as you relax here in your child pose, what I would like you to focus on is tuning into your breath. So we're leaving all of that environmental stimuli in the background, and we're taking our awareness within our body. We're moving our observer to the body rather than our external world. So notice any sensations in the body and maintain nice slow breaths if you can through the nose. And this really does start to relax the body and the mind. And gently pressing up from your child pose, let's tuck the toes underneath us, and we're going to rock back. So coming up onto your knees, stretching your arms up to the sky, reaching high above you, and then folding over your legs like a wave over your feet, and coming back up all the way, stretching up high with the arms. Inhale and exhale it all the way down to the mat. Big inhale. So we're taking our movement of the body with the breath. And at the top of the inhale, big stretch. And exhale it all out, coming down to the mat. Inhale one last time, all the way to the ceiling. And coming down all the way to the mat. And now, if you want to come up to a kneeling position with your tailbone on your heels and it's comfortable to do so, that's fine. I'm going to take a block. My knees get a little bit sore in this position. So I'm putting a block underneath my seat, in between my feet, here in this kneeling pose. And you may find this more comfortable too. And here in a kneeling position, we're going to take the arms up and start to pump the breath through the diaphragm. So we're just using the diaphragm, and we're going to pump the breath by breathing out of the nose quite forcefully. So it looks like this. You can join me if you're ready. And this is breath of fire. So we're forcing the breath out of the nose, and don't worry about the inhale. The inhale takes care of itself. We bring the arms up all the way to the ceiling, stretch them out high above you, and when you're ready, on an inhale, let's start to pump the diaphragm, breathing out quite forcefully. Here we go. And just a few more breaths, keeping the arms stretched. The chest is open, the heart is lifted. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, bring the palms of the hands together at the top. Exhale, bring them down to your chest. And that really would have set your whole body and mind up for the practice. So let's come onto our knees, remove the block, and we'll come onto all fours. So moving out the knees so they're directly under the hips, and your wrists are directly underneath your shoulders. And let's tuck our toes underneath us and start to lift the tailbone. We're coming up into a downward dog, but first of all, keeping the heels nice and high. We've straightened our legs at the top, and now pressing through the legs, put your heels down onto the mat behind you. And this is all done very slowly, so you're aware of every move that you're making here as you transition into your first downward facing dog. Let's bend the knees again, bringing the heels up really high, bending the knees as low as you can comfortably, and really stretching out through the back. And then slowly lifting the tailbone as you straighten through the legs. And now placing the heels down onto the mat behind you. Let's roll through the body all the way forward into our first plank pose. Place your knees down on the floor, and let's come up into a nice arch of the spine, pressing the shoulder blades together. You can uncurl your toes at the back. Big inhale. Exhale, curl the toes underneath you and pressing back up into a downward facing dog. Pressing the heels down into the floor. Nice big space between your shoulders and your ears. Hold it here for one more breath. And then rolling through the body into a plank position, placing your knees down and coming back up into that beautiful arch of the spine. Looking up. Inhale. And exhale, curling the toes under and pressing back up into a downward facing dog. Now bringing your knees down onto the floor, let's just do one more child pose to relax the lower back. Press your forehead down into the mat and relax just for a moment. Rocking side to side. And coming back up onto all fours, let's press up into a downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, gaze is between the hands, and let's walk those feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift with a nice long spine, and you can press your hands down into your calves to elongate the spine. Inhale. Exhale all the way down, and inhale, we're going to rise all the way up, taking our arms above us, stretching high, palms together in front of the heart. Anjali Mudra, relax. Inhale, take those arms up high above you and folding over the legs on an exhale. Inhale up to a half lift, long spine, pressing your hands down into your calves and folding over the legs on an exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale all the way up to the sky, palms together at the top, bring them down in front of the heart. Inhale, stretching up high above you and folding over the legs on an exhale. Inhale, half lift, long spine, and exhale all the way down over the legs. Now coming up, keeping your tailbone behind you, your butt out behind you, your legs are bent, we're coming into chair pose. So nice low stance here. Your knees are over the toes. Your tailbone is jutting out behind you like you have tail feathers out there at the back of you in a bucket of water. And from here, we're going to place the hands together and twist over to the left side. So let's do a nice twist here in chair pose. Nice long spine. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale all the way up through to the center. And once again to the other side, let's bring our hands down in front of us. Twist over to the right side. Elongate the spine. Just check to make sure those knees are aligned here in the twist. Inhale, exhale, and inhale, we'll rise all the way up. And this time, just throw your arms out to the back of you on a big exhale as we come down. Inhale up to the top and exhale over to the right. Inhale up to the ceiling and exhale over to the left. Inhale all the way up and exhale all the way down. And now coming back up to the center, let's place our hands in Anjali Mudra here. Now, I'll just face the front for a moment. We're going to have a slight bend in the knees here and opening up the arms like you're extending and holding the whole entire earth in your arms. Your arms are in a W and you're leaning back slightly with a little bend in your knees. So spreading your fingertips and holding the whole world, and then bringing those hands together in gratitude. And once again, bringing the arms back, holding the entire world in your arms, and coming back into that place of gratitude. Should we do that one more time? So we'll open up the arms, slight bend in the knees, little lean back, hold the world, and into a space of gratitude in front of the heart. And now coming up high above you and folding over the legs on an exhale. Let's start our first flow. And spreading those hands nice and wide, fingertips wide, hands flat like pancakes onto the mat, a little bit more than hip distance apart. Let's step back into a downward facing dog. Press your heels towards the floor, nice long spine, big space between the ears and the top of your shoulders. And just rolling through the body all the way into a plank position. Placing your knees down on the ground. Let's take an inhale as we rock the body slightly forward and lowering ourselves down, keeping the elbows very close to the body. Inhale up to a little baby cobra here. We're just starting up, warming up the body. Exhale down. Inhale. Let's come back up onto our knees, curl the toes underneath you, and press back into a downward facing dog. Now let's lift up the right leg, keeping the hips parallel to the floor. Inhale, that leg high above you, keeping the hips parallel to the floor. And on an exhale, bring that knee into your chest, high, rounding the back. Inhale, stretch it up behind you. Exhale, bringing it up to the chest, placing that foot high up between the feet. Find your position. Strong back leg, you're high on the toes, and we'll raise that up into a high lunge. And here in our high lunge, bring the hands down into prayer. And then again, holding the whole entire world as we take a little back bend and bring our hands back into gratitude. 2 more times. Inhale, holding the entire earth, and exhale back to your gratitude. Inhale it back and exhale back into prayer hands, bringing your hands up high above you. Let's open up into a warrior 2. Back foot is 90 degrees from the top of the mat, and the arms are reached out parallel to the floor. Little Tai Chi move here. We're going to start to straighten the front leg, bend the back leg, and with the front hand, we'll make a beautiful peace symbol with our fingers and with the back fingers too. And we're coming into our Tai Chi Tiger. So just hold this for a moment. The gaze is back towards that front foot. Toes are pressing into the mat. And then taking that all the way back into a warrior 2. Let's reverse that warrior. Taking that big stretch all the way through the right lat, feeling that stretch through the side of the body, and coming back into your warrior two. Peace fingers with the front hand and with the back hand. Take the back wrist and curl it down. Feel that stretch through the forearm and leaning forward over that front leg. Let's start to feel that front leg working, and you're breathing through the nose. Keep that breath going. One more deep inhale. Exhale it out. Inhale, stretch, and exhale it into a reverse warrior. Windmill the arms down. Plant those hands either side of the foot. Come back into a lunge. Take that foot behind you into a plank pose. Lower the knees. And let's lower ourselves down slowly to the mat. Inhale up to a cobra. And exhale all the way down. Inhale back onto our knees. Nice long spine, active core. Curl your toes underneath you. Inhale and exhale down. All the way back into our downward facing dog. Inhale and gazes up between the hands. Exhale, walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale, nice long spine. And exhale down over your legs. Inhale to the sky. High above you, palms together, and bring the hands down in front of the heart. Inhale, take those arms high. And exhale, coming forward over the legs, pressing your hands into the calves. Elongate the spine. Inhale. Exhale down over the legs. Gaze is between the hands, and let's step back into a plank position. Placing the knees down on the floor. Let's lower down slowly to the floor. Taking an inhale as we come into our cobra pose. Exhaling it down. Inhale, back up to your plank. Curl the toes, and you're back into a downward facing dog. Now let's do that on the left side. So lifting up the left leg, keeping the hips parallel to the floor. Let's bring that knee in on an exhale, all the way to the chest, around the spine. Inhale, stretch it back. Exhale, take that knee up high into the chest and place it down between the hands at the top of your mat. Here you are in your lunge position. Nice strong back leg, strong front leg. Engage the core, and let's come up into our high lunge. Bringing the palms together, we're in our prayer position. Holding the world, let's take an inhale as we lean back slightly, bringing the hands back into gratitude. Inhale, stretching, reaching back, and exhale, hands in gratitude. One more time. Inhale, hold the whole entire earth in your arms and coming back. Now taking the arms up high, we're moving into our warrior two. Open up that back foot at 90 degrees. And now starting to stretch out the front leg, bending the back leg, taking the hands into a peace symbol. We're coming into our Tai Chi Tiger. Gaze is back at the front of the mat. And then a nice big windmill all the way back into your warrior two. And let's reach and take it into a reverse warrior, stretching out the side of the body. Feel that stretch along the left side. Back into your warrior two. Peace fingers with the hands. Take your back hand, place it down. Feel that stretch through the forearm and reach forward with conviction. Gaze out at those fingers in front. Hold your position. Feel that front thigh working. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, reach it forward. One last reverse warrior. And now windmill the arms, and we'll come back into a plank position. Placing the knees down on the floor. Let's lower down slowly with control. Inhale up to your cobra. And exhale down. Inhale back to your plank. And let's just for a moment move back into a child pose. I think we deserve that after the work that we've just done. Placing your forehead down onto the floor. Sinking your forearms down into the mat. Relax here. Focusing on the breath. Focusing on any sensations that you're feeling in the body. Just rocking your hips side to side a little bit. Relaxing here in this beautiful, scrummy, relaxing and restorative pose. And this is the place that we come to when things are getting a little bit heavy in yoga and our body is telling us, no, not today. This is where we come to our child pose. So just one more beautiful big breath here in child pose. And then coming back up onto all fours. Curl your toes underneath you. Inhale and exhale. Push back into a downward facing dog. Inhale, gaze is between the hands. And let's walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale, half lift, long spine. Really elongate the spine here. And folding over your legs. Let's inhale all the way to the top. Bringing your hands down in prayer. And we're going to run through that sequence again. So before we begin, let's take our arms up high above us. Big inhale. And coming down into a chair pose. Yes, we're going to do breath of fire again. So big inhale and start your breath of fire. Power that breath through the nose. And really keep this going. This resets the entire body, the mind. We start to get some beautiful harmony happening here. Mind-body coherence. 5 more big breaths. Inhale. And taking your arms high above you. Exhale, the hands in front of the chest. And big inhale to the ceiling. Rolling down over your legs. Half lift, long spine. Placing your hands down, let's step back into a downward facing dog. Lifting your right leg high above you. Inhale. Exhale, bring that knee to nose. Inhale, take the leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, and step it through. We're coming up into our high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, the palms in front of you. Inhale, take the whole world in your arms. And exhale forward into gratitude. Inhale back. Lean back a little bit. And bring it all forward. Exhale. One more time. Inhale back. Exhale forward. And taking those arms high. Opening up. We're here in Warrior Two. Holding just for a moment, and we move back into our Tai Chi Tiger, straightening out the front leg, bending the back leg, peace fingers with the hands, gaze is back to the front foot, and bending that front leg, revolve the arms. We're back in our Warrior Two, stretching out to the front in front of us, and taking the arm high into a reverse warrior. Back into Warrior Two. Peace fingers down at the back and reaching out in front of you. Hold just for 2 big deep breaths. And stretching the arm out in front. One last reverse warrior. Big stretch through the right. Revolve the arms to the floor. And we step back into a downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg high. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, leg high. Exhale, lift that knee to nose. Step it through. And coming up with control into your high lunge. Inhale. Exhale, the palms come down in front of you. Inhale, take the arms back. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, slight lean back, arms wide. Exhale, bringing the hands together in prayer. And inhale all the way back. Exhale, bringing the hands together in prayer. Hands over your head at the top. And open your stance into your warrior two. Hold for just a moment. And now straightening out that front leg, bending the back leg. Our Tai Chi Tiger. Gaze is back towards the front foot. Knee of the back leg is over that front foot. And taking yourself all the way back into a warrior two. Peace fingers with the back and the front hand, leaning forward, really working that front thigh, strong back leg, active core, big deep breath, reaching out. One last reverse warrior, stretching through the left side, and windmill the arms to the floor. We're back into our downward facing dog. That was a lot of work. Just hold here for a couple of nice big deep breaths. Feeling that stretch through the shoulders, the back of the legs. Press your hips behind you as you stretch through the back. And let's roll through the body all the way into a plank position. Place your knees on the floor and let's lower our body gently, slowly, all the way down onto the floor. Your arms come behind you, your feet stay quite close together, and on an inhale, lifting up into your Shavasana. Like an airplane, Peter Pan pose, we're gliding here, lifting those legs high, lifting the arms, really working through the back. This is a great back strengthener. Keeping the breath going. One last inhale up to your highest point, and then exhale down, bringing one side of your head down to the mat and relaxing. And while you're relaxing here, keeping the focus on the breath and any sensations you're feeling in the body. Now we'll prepare and do one more Shavasana, or if you'd like to take it to the next level, bending the heels to the sky, take a hold of the outside of your ankles with your hands, and on an inhale, keeping the knees close together, lifting up into a bow pose. Your shoulder blades kiss at the back, your gaze is down and forward. Be sure there's no tension in the neck. And lifting on an inhale, big lift. Let's hold for one more deep breath. Inhale up to your highest point. Beautiful back strengthener. And exhale, take it all the way down. Take your head to the opposite side and relax down onto your mat. And placing your hands beside your chest, let's press back up into a child pose. A well-deserved restorative child pose, placing your forehead down on the floor, rocking side to side. You can stretch your arms out in front of you or simply relax them down onto the mat. Rocking side to side. And from our child pose, let's just come back up into all fours and let's roll onto our backs for some really nice restorative poses. So coming down to the center of your mat, rolling down, and let's just bring our knees in to the chest, hug those knees and just rocking slightly side to side. Might feel good after those back strengthening poses. And placing your feet down really high up on the mat so your heels are almost touching your butt. Pressing your head down into the mat, your shoulder blades are close together, your hands are pressing into the mat. Lift your hips up high to the ceiling in this bridge pose. So as we lift, think about pulling your heels towards your shoulders, and you'll start to feel the back of your legs, the hamstrings start to activate and strengthen as we hold up here in our bridge pose. And lower down on an exhale. Inhale and press yourself back up to the sky, lifting the hips high, pressing your arms down into the mat. And exhale down. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, high hips, pressing down into the mat. Heels are pulling towards the shoulders. And allowing yourself to come down on the exhale one more time. Inhale, up to your highest point. We'll just hold here for a couple of breaths. And maybe you can shift your hips side to side a little bit so there's no tension here. Rocking your hips up to the ceiling one at a time here. Coming to the center, up to your highest point, and relaxing down onto the floor. Stretching your arms out parallel to one another. Let's bring our knees into the chest and roll your knees over to the left side. We're coming into a twist. So you can place your left hand over your right thigh and your gaze is over to the right hand. Feel that twist all the way through your back and relaxing your entire body now. Relax your legs, your feet. The only place that really could be working right now is a little bit of pressure from your left hand pressing down onto your right thigh to increase the stretch. Otherwise, everything is relaxing into the mat. Just do a little body scan, making sure your arms are relaxed, your facial muscles, your feet, your legs, your neck. And inhale, let's take that back up through to the center and we'll just stretch over the other side. So allowing your knees to fall over to the right side, placing your right hand over that left thigh if you want to increase the twist, and your gaze is over that left side. And you can close your eyes here and really relax. And a little body scan to make sure that everything is relaxing, that there's no tension in the legs, the feet, your spine is relaxed, your facial muscles, your shoulders. And keep that breath going. One more big deep breath in as we bring the knees back up into center. Dropping the knees out to the side, Bring your feet up to the ceiling, flex your feet and grab a hold of the outside of your feet to pull your knees down either side of your body. And let's rock here side to side for a moment here in Happy Baby. This is a lovely hip opening stretch. Keeping the breath going through the nose. And we'll hold here for a couple more breaths and then move into our Shavasana. One last deep inhale and find your comfortable position on the floor, stretching out the legs, stretching the arms out. Find a comfortable position for your shoulders, your neck, and then start to feel your body sinking into the mat, feeling heavy, everything relaxing, and keeping that breath going, big, slow, deep breaths as you keep your awareness within, being the observer of your mind, scanning your body. Staying present, being the observer of our mind. One more big deep breath in, fully relaxed. And take a stretch all the way through the body. Take your arms above you. You might want to clasp your hands. Revolve your palms away from you and stretch overhead. Nice big stretch. Feel that right through your entire torso, all the way from your hands to your toes. And then pressing up into a sitting position slowly, keeping the eyes closed. Let's come up to a seated position, however you feel comfortable to do so. I'm going to place a block underneath my seat in a cross-legged position here. And placing your hands down on your thighs, relaxing. Maintaining our awareness within. And on an inhale, let's take the arms above the head. Big deep inhale, stretch through the torso. Take your gaze up between the hands, open your eyes. Exhale as the palms come together in front of your heart. On an inhale, bow slightly forward to the greatest teacher of all, the teacher within. Inhale back up into your seated position. Namaste. Thank you for joining me from my heart to yours. And if you enjoyed this short yoga sequence, then please hit the subscribe button, and I would love to see you back here for more yoga flows with maybe a little bit more Tai Chi thrown into the mix. Have a beautiful day.